Здравейте, аз съм Александър.
Hello, I'm Alexander Krstev, the founder of Bookmark, the first LinkedIn marketing agency in Bulgaria. I'm here to wake you up. I hope you have had a great time talking to colleagues, acquaintances, and good friends, I believe. Now I will switch to English.
We have the next speaker, our next guest, Anastasia Zhdanova. Welcome, head of the artificial intelligence practice at Infopulse. She has almost, a round of applause, please.
Thank you.
She has almost 5 years of experience in digital transformation and has held executive positions in various industries for over a decade and a half. So during the next session, no pain, no gain. Most of you, or some of you who are fitness fanatics, know what this means. And Anastasia will debunk some common misconceptions about AI while illustrating where it can have the biggest impact and be truly useful in your business, especially in the financial industry. How are you, Anastasia?
I'm well, thank you.
How was your trip to Sofia?
Oh, it was quite nice. I'm really excited to participate in this conference, even to be a speaker here. Frankly speaking, I used to live in Bulgaria for around 3 months 2 years ago. So for that reason, it's really valuable and exciting for me.
Okay, so welcome to DigiPay 2024. Well, we all know AI is transforming across different sectors. Can you share how the integration process of AI varies between different industries and what unique benefits does, let's say, each industry expect to gain from AI technologies?
Thank you for the questions. It might be a quite big topic, discussing AI benefits in each industry. And I believe all of you read a lot of, articles, watch a lot of video, analyze a lot of information that already exists about AI everywhere. Even on this conference, I just sit in on the last row and try to understand Bulgarian. Unfortunately, I fall, but I heard about AI during this meeting. And what can I say about different industries? Yes, hype of AI started around 2 years ago. I believe in 2022, maybe end of 2021, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe that all of us understand that AI will be in our life in each and every industry and in each and every activity. And but at the same time, we're faced with some issue when we are thinking that AI can replace a people. And I like the quote of the Harvard Business School. They mentioned that, believe, AI will not replace the people, but people that use AI will replace you if you are not using it. And if we are talking about industries, yes, each and every industry, right now are facing with the fighting for the customer. Yeah, we have a customer in banking, we have a customer in healthcare, we have a customer in manufacturing. We live in this reality. Yeah, for that reason, like all industry, try to satisfy his customer with different digitalization, satisfaction. Improve his services. For that reason, I believe that I need to say that common. You can use AI in customer-facing communication. You can use AI to improve your internal services. And it would be common for each and every industry, finance versus manufacturing or agriculture.
So how do you at Infopulse help companies do that?
Sorry, can you say one more?
How do you help companies do that at Infopulse?
Okay. during my presentation, I should say that we are quite a big company, and I'm happy to be part of it. And we are working with the different industries with through our business activities. Right now, our main focus is on the financial sector, first of all, for that reason I'm here. Also agricultural, also healthcare, and we are dealing in it. Okay, I can move forward, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, thank you. So, during today's short presentation, I propose the next agenda, if you don't mind, for sure. Firstly, shortly describe who we are. I have already started to do this. Next, I would little bit give you a tips regarding the importance of and value of AI strategy and how it can help you in your business activity. Next, let's speaking about area where AI and intelligent business automation could bring most benefits in financial sectors. I believe it's more interesting for you. And next, I would like to share with you some practical cases that we have already implemented, I believe, just months ago. So it's fresh one. Okay, who we are? As I mentioned, Infopulse, it's a Ukrainian-based company, and I'm really proud of it, with 30 years of history. And we are the part of more biggest company, Tietoevry. It's a Finland-based company with really Nordic heritage, with around 10,000 specialists through the 24 countries. But it's numbers, not interesting for you, but I believe most valuable for you that we have quite huge delivery center in Bulgaria that would be glad to deliver all AI and not only project for finance. So, speaking about our industry and our knowledge expertise, as I mentioned, we focus on healthcare, on finance, on insurance, on telecommunication, and automotive. And in our quite big team, I believe we have a specialist who is able to deliver a cloud, digitalization, design, AI, and business automation project, and for sure, custom development. So, all presentation, I believe all cool presentation, let's say in this world, I believe I want to be cool today, start usually with some quote. Yeah, I find this quote in the Twitter. Frankly speaking, our marketing team helped to do this for me. So, you know, what the biggest problem with pushing all things to AI? And the answer is wrong direction, yeah? Because all of us, I believe, not only this funny girl wants that AI to do her laundry and dishes so that he can do art and writing, and not for AI to do my art and writing so that I can do my laundry and dishes, yeah? And I believe it's true, it's funny, but it's true. And as I said at the beginning, first topic I would like to share with you is regarding the importance of the AI strategy. Yeah, we know it's huge, how to say, hype of AI right now that we face with. Yes, and like to have a strategy, to have a right strategy, it's quite important because when we start at 2022. Let's come back a little bit to the history. Thinking about AI and thinking about implementing AI in our business activity, what we face with? The first is, okay, it's hype, yeah? Like, okay, let's do AI. Where doesn't matter. Just do AI, believe me, it would be cool. Next, we face with some uncomfortable things like we should think what department, what case, why should we do AI, how much it costs, what we will receive at the end. So a lot of questions arise in our hand, and we are frustrated. We are frustrated about challenges, about maybe future falls, and maybe we decided what to put on hold these projects, and let's see, maybe next one manager will come and will raise this AI topic, and I will sit and wait. So, to avoid just talking you about, please have a strategy, set up your goals, and you will be happy. I just want to share our expertise, how it looks for us in our business activity. Yeah. So we have a customer that come to us with already existing strategy and ask us just to help him to develop some cases. So we have a customer who is acting like, okay, I just want to try. And we implemented a lot of small projects for them from different departments. And it's also a strategy, yes, they try, they understand, okay, this is work, this is doesn't work, in this direction we go, in this we won't go, yeah? But in terms of cost, it's a little bit more expensive, yeah, because you understand you need to spend time, money for implementing this small POC. At the same time, we have a customer that came to us and asked, please help us with a strategy. We understand that we want to implement some business intelligent automation, but we don't know how, from what to start. And then we path this journey with customer together, like trying to identify the POC, trying to identify the appropriate cases for the POC, and to implement high-level strategy for 3-5 years, like high-level or maybe particular one for really particular department or really particular direction for customer. Speaking about strategy, what is important to say? Just in a few words, because it's a really big, huge topic, huge workshop that you can conduct, and it will really have a value if you will like work inside, internally, in your company, with your colleagues, with your challenges, with your pain. But in general, it is important to have a goal, yeah? And your goal should be transparent. And it should be open, not only for management team, but it should be shared with other with other employees as well. Yeah, they understand that your goal is here. For instance, what goal like might be? Let's speaking about finance. Okay, you would like to improve customer satisfaction. You would like to automate some routine that exists in your, I don't know, accounting department or operational department. You would like to reduce tickets that, for instance, appear for your HR team, or maybe reduce requests that your IT team received from. So, align the goal with business process. What I mean here? All these goals that I explained and all your operation has existing business process that run as is, yeah? And it would be really beneficial in this stage to understand what is the start of your business process and what is the end. What result should you have at the end of the day, on the final, when this process finish. So for that reason, it's really important to transparently share the goal with all employees, because we know I can understand some business process, for instance, in our day-to-day company activity, but I have no idea how it proceeds manually, step by step. And I believe you too, and this is common for all business and area. Criteria, yeah? Align business process with criteria. What I mean? Let's imagine that we have a business process in our accounting department and we would like to automate it, yeah? Let's imagine that Alex is head of this department, yeah? As the head of the department, Alex wants to reduce the time that her team spent for copy-pasting, I don't know, reading email and copy-pasting data from invoice that they received and putting it to your CRM, ERP, yeah? And it's okay.
That's how at the beginning of the month, you probably, some of you know that.
And okay, it's a good criteria for Alex, but me, let's imagine that I am CFO, I would like to reduce the cost. Yeah, I would like that Alex's team right now is 10 people who is just copy-pasting, and I want that after implementing this automation, it would be only one person who will copy-paste just for some critical, I don't know, cases. So to understand and align criteria for all stakeholders is also an important point, because at the end of the day, when you measure the result of implementation of your process, you will understand if it aligns with your criteria or not. So, one more point that are not on this slide, but it's really important. Banking, yeah? We understand that you have a huge a really big amount of data. And data for AI, it's like food for people. I believe you heard this quote. But like we understand, AI, it's not something magic. It's just an algorithm that analyzes data, and based on this data can predict, can give some recommendation, I don't know, some personalization, depends on your business process. So you should understand in what quality your data right now, yeah? Is it structured? Or you have a chaos, or maybe you keep this data on the several, I don't know, places like in cloud, I don't know, in some folders on personal computers. So for that reason, to structure data is one of the first steps on the automation journey. And after prioritization, and implementing POC and measure the criteria, align the criteria with your business goals. Maybe questions, Alex?
Yeah, of course. You've already mentioned that for the wider audience, you can join me at the center of the stage. Yeah, of course. For the wider audience, AI has been a thing, like since the end of 2021, mostly with ChatGPT, Gemini, etc. But what's the practical value for the companies in the financial sector?
Okay. Thank you. Good question. I believe I have some words for myself. Yeah. AI, it's not only about ChatGPT. Yes, it's yeah. AI, it's about a lot of big cases that might be implemented with, yeah. On the previous slide, I mentioned that it's really important to have a data, yeah. And based on this data, you can create assistants. For instance, you can create custom-facing GPT bots. Yes. What is this? Yeah, it is the bot that will communicate with your users or maybe with your customers in a friendly manner, yeah, and will provide the answer based on more actual information that you have. For instance, website, I don't know, your intranet, if you are talking about internal use, some HR cases, and so on and so forth. Copilots, yeah? Copilots can automate your day-to-day activity for your employee. Data analytics bot. I would like to stop here. Little bit, I have a time. Okay. We implemented this case for not financial, but for pharmaceutical company. If you will interest in, I can provide you a link. It is on the YouTube. What is the idea of this case? But it might be implemented in any area. Customer has a huge amount of data, yeah, but structured data, yeah, it's important. And customer need some ad hoc reports based on this data. For instance, to compare sales, yeah, to compare sales from relevant months for 2023 and 2024. To have a sales for last week, and after that to have a sales for last 2 weeks. And this bot, like speaking with the data set, yes, providing the answer, even more, he provides the diagrams, he provides the summary of it. So, and you are able to make a decision like based on the real data and real analytics, and you don't need to wait and don't know amount of times, hours, and spend a lot of money to create this report for you. Also, what I would like to mention is it's not only about GPT, but about prediction. Yeah, and prediction, it's also an interesting point. You can build prediction on, I don't know, on customer using your solution. You can build prediction of what products your customer use based on the historical data and what will use in the future. Predictions can predict your scoring and low underwriting, and predictions can analyze, it can be used in the fraud detection as well. Prediction can analyze the data and find some not common patterns in current transaction and inform you in a real time. So it's also about analysis custom behavior. It's also about customer data analysis. It's also about sentimental analysis, which is really important for marketing to build in future sales campaign. And it's also AI about automating some routine rule-based task. Yeah. it is.
And considering the rapid development and enhancing of AI, do you think that companies in finance, in banking especially, are prepared to take the advantages that AI gives them with all of these use cases you've already mentioned?
I would say I believe yes. Yeah, but maybe on way, I would say yes, for sure. Finance sector faces with a lot of challenges, like some security, like government's regulation, like staff, like a professional employees. It's also a challenge because, for instance, from my perspective, a lot of customers would like to have people like internally in the team. And usually if we are speaking about competitions of high level of proficiency, it's really sometimes hard for customer to fight with tech company, and indeed it is a challenge.
I think you should tell us now about some certain project you've already implemented in the financial sector.
Okay, with my pleasure. Then let's move to the project that I would like to share today with you. This project is about automation of one of the process in operation department. The customer, short story about the customer, is one of the, I believe, biggest Ukrainian bank. Especially it is private bank. It is quite old one. I'm so sorry, I cannot tell you the name because the case is under NDA. But bank operating, like, I believe, more than 30 years and has around 1,007,000 customers. And in his business activity, client has a full range of banking services like a commercial, retail, B2B, B2C, investments. And important to mention that this bank is quite digitally mature. So they like comparing with the other in our market, I mean in the Ukrainian market, so they have already implemented in their activity robotic process automation, I mean automate the routine tasks. They have already implemented some application for internal use, and this bank has his internal team. IT team, I'm sorry. And the bank came to us with the next challenge. Yes, they asked us to create an AI-powered chatbot to automate the request processing from the cash collection department. So the bank came and said, okay, look, we have around 400 employees, yes, and we have a lot of requests to our internal HR team that are coming from this department, and also to internal IT team. And at the same time, we have the next challenge, like we have a high level of turnover of employee, so we need to rapidly onboard in this employee. I believe you know what I mean, because it's a first step for people in his banking career, and the complexity of banking regulation and internal documentation, it's too complicated, to fast jump in this journey for people. And it's also they face with a lot of mistakes that cost for customer money. So what should we create? Yes, we should create the solution that provide this cashier a quick feedback based on this request. And maybe on the next slide, I will give you a little bit more details about development of this solution. So we developed this bot based on, okay, it doesn't matter what functionality, but on the background it was a Microsoft. I believe everyone knows Microsoft. And we implemented retrieval and argumental generation functionality to respond on user request in the simple manner and to provide internal documentation. So it's not only the answer, it's a link on the internal documentation to check. Also, we enable images support. What does it mean? So if customer in his internal documentation have some PowerPoints or PDF documents that we need to provide the answer based on, it is also eligible. Also, we create, and it was important for customer, we created administrative panel for management the user roles. Because, as I mentioned at the very beginning, it's more than 400 people, and all these people has different level of seniority and different level of access for some appropriate documentation. So, and this data set should be separate. And we implement the tracking to analyze customer satisfaction, employee satisfaction. Is it satisfied of using this solution or no? Because at the beginning, when I said you about the goal, so for customer, for this particular customer, the goal was to improve accuracy, yes, as I mentioned, and like not to create some solution, digital solution, but to understand that this solution will help them to face with their challenges. And one more also important point, it's the security. As I mentioned, it's one of the, I would say, biggest bank in Ukraine, and it is partially public. So we should ensure the comprehensive security protocols and build a role-based access to the data that customers should connect with. And provided support to external social media channels like a Telegram, WhatsApp to enable access to specific data based on the user permission. I believe at the end of the day, this case will bring really value for customer, like based on their thoughts, but it's a reduced human error. The bot, like based on this first feedback, improve operational efficiency, automated some answers that are now provided by the bot, and decrease the amount of the request that was sent previously to internal IT and HR department.
Nice one. Do you mind sitting for a few minutes? Yeah, we have a few more minutes. Of course, all of you guys, if you have any questions, just raise a hand and you'll receive a microphone to ask it. Well, you've mentioned a couple of hot keywords, of course, AI and robotic process automation. Are they interchangeable or they work in a synergy? And which are the, let's say, most common, I don't know, well, how do you combine them?
Sorry. I understand your questions. Yeah, you know, if we are talking about AI and robotic process automation, I can say that these two guys from one family. Yeah, but if we are talking about robotic process automation, they just automate repetitive tasks. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So robotic process automation is valuable technology when it's not needed people. Yeah. When it's not needed to think, it just doing the rule-based work. Yeah. If we are talking about AI, it's about technology from intelligent automation family, but that can think, yeah, and act and analyze, yeah. So let's give you an example. Invoicing, I believe, really common process in each and every
area. From my
area.
department.
Yes, from your department, yeah, invoices. And if you are talking about invoicing, let's imagine that you receive to the mailbox, I don't know, for 100 invoices per day from your suppliers, yeah. So then robotic process automation will read the email and will extract data from the, like, how to say, attachments, yes, and put this data to your internal system. At the same time, here, AI will understand what specifically needs to take from this invoice.
Great. What are the specific challenges you've already met while implementing AI for projects for your clients?
Oh, a really common challenge, data, yeah? Mm-hmm. Usually customer comes and say, I need to do this task, for instance, and we ask, okay, or simple case, I would like to automate the task for HR department to be like our employee after implementing once sends the emails to our HR team. Next question, okay, do you have a data based on what we should provide the answer? No, for sure no. Okay, maybe it exists somewhere, yes, on the computer of our recruitment team. Okay, good. So structured data. AI can do a lot of things, but they need to They need to do this based on something, yeah, based on data, and data should be structured.
Do these challenges vary among industries, or I don't know, maybe are there specific challenges you're facing here in the Southeastern Europe?
I believe the most, like all industry has common challenges, and as I mentioned, has some specific challenges, yes? For instance, if we are talking about banking, it would be regularity, it would be cloud. A lot of banking in Southeastern Europe, I believe, right now are not eligible for some reason to working with the cloud solution. It's it's just a challenge that you face with, and then you should find a solution. It's not something like that should stop you to go forward. But for Southern Europe, yes, I would say digitalization. It should be little bit
faster.
Faster, yeah.
We have time for one more question, please. Can we give the lady a microphone? Great.
Thank you for the very interesting presentation. Actually, I have a question. When you are supporting your clients through this road, how you support them in identifying, assessing, and managing risk with AI?
Thank you for the question. Really good question. You know, maybe it would be a little bit hard for me to answer you correctly on this point, yes, because usually we have a team. It's a team of business consultant, business analyst who is doing this assessment, yeah. I'm just a small part of it. But how it usually looks like, yeah. We are sitting with the customer on one table, and we are listening the customer expectation of this workshop. For instance, we should build the strategy, but based on what? Yeah, that you have 1, 2, 3 important points you need to we need to work with. Yeah, and after that, this workshop usually looks like. If you are speaking, for instance, about high-level workshops, yes, it's around 10 people. It's usually managers from some departments, yes, who know the operation model of their departments, and discussing and working together with specialists, with business consultant on creating this strategy. After that, like a business consultant task is to hear you, is to ask you right questions, is to take everything from your organization, from your thoughts, from your knowledge. And after that, they have homework, let's say, and provide you their, like, it's not a material, but it is a business strategy that you are discuss with him, and like he structure it just. After that, it might be next steps. Yeah, you can just take this business strategy and say, okay, this is work for me. Further, we will work by our own. Or you can have one more session for maybe for some particular department. Let's imagine for accounting team, or maybe for some back office team, yes, and you would like to deep dive here more in the process to identify the candidate.
Thank you for the question. Of course, you, Anastasia, for the answer. I don't see any more hands, so thanks a lot for the conversation, for the keynote.
Thank you. Thank you.
Deserved applauses, so that's welcome to the stage, the next participants.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dejan Radev. I am professor of fintech and banking at Sofia University, and I'm the founder of the Center of Digital Finance, and I'm about to lead the discussion panel on the Croatian experience in the transition to the euro. And I'm very grateful to the organizers for organizing this topical discussion, which I believe will be useful for everyone in the room. I'm also very glad to discuss this issue with Ms. Ivana Rosancic, business intelligence consultant at Koyos, Croatia. So, Ms. Rosancic.
Thank you.
Maybe we can sit on the chairs. Okay. Can you first introduce your company and what your role in the Euro transition was?
Of course, firstly, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's really nice to be in Bulgaria for the third time. Your country is really beautiful, and I'm glad that I'm here. And I met very, very nice people here. Company Koyos is basically a company with 100 people. It's experienced consultant in banking business. Mostly we work with other fields, but banking is our priority. We worked in all different parts of banking, in the risk, in the IML, in the loans, in the retail, in the corporate, every part of the banking business. We mainly worked in data warehousing part. We have a custom developed part. We are also golden partner for Atlassian. Some interesting fact is that most of the people, all of the people in Koyos speaking banking business, juniors also. And we have a department from business analyst and project management, and we were deeply involved in the euro conversion through this department also. So for the Koyos is also for the long run. We are on the market 16 years, and the first bank that we worked with 16 years before, this bank is still our partner. So we are working with them also today. So.
And what was your particular role?
My particular role, it was really two different roles. In the first role, I lead a team of 11 people in one Croatian bank. We needed to do all the changes regarding data warehouse, all the changes in the core data warehouse, all the changes in the data marts, all the changes. We need to really basically, we made the scripts to try to find all the places in the tables, functions, store procedures, jobs. When our currency is mentioned, we try to implement the most flexible solution possible. So new or extra currency will be now just one insert in the table. We also did a huge piece of work on regulatory reporting part. It was not only the changes for the new reports that follow Euro adoption, it was also the changing for the existing reports. Because there were early Euro note supplies that nobody really think about in advance, that needed to be excluded from cash reports. It was, for example, ASIF reports that we need to decide how to recalculate amounts in it, which amounts do we need to recalculate, and things like that. Also, for example, for the cash reports, we needed to provide reports in the both currency the whole year after Euro adoption date. My other task was in other bank 1 year and 4 months later. This bank didn't spend so much time in their regulatory reporting part. So when our Croatian National Bank raised really their checks, they noticed that these reports are not in line with these checks, so I worked on try to fix these reports. Basically, it was unaccredited part, and specifically for that report is that data for that report are 15, 20 years ago, its first data about corporate loans, so in most bank, quality of this kind of data is really questionable, and in this case, they also needed to be converted to euro.
So the process seems quite involved. It's not a mere conversion of whatever exchange rate is to the euro. And when did the process started? We know that Croatia got into the euro area on the 1st of January 2023, but when did the whole process and the preparation start?
Yeah, it's really dependent. Some dates that was important for us. It was 2020 when our kuna went to IRM, European exchange rate. And then the second date was also in 2020 when our national plan for a replacement of kuna was up. And this is the year when I will say the earliest our banks and our businesses try to think about the euro. But for most of them, really preparation didn't start. It depended mostly about amount of the people available for this project and thinking inside of the bank. For the banks that started really in 2020 with cleanup of their systems, the whole process went smoother than the banks that they started in 2022. In 2022, one of the most important dates was in the March of 2022 when our law for replacing kuna was on parliamentary reading, and then the second date was when EU really decided that we could replace the currency. Then the date when we had the fixed exchange rate followed, and basically then the second thing that followed on September of 2022 was double pricing, and for all the businesses, and it was really, they needed to have double pricing on the price in the retail stores, on all banks document that you got, you needed to have amount in the both currency, in the kuna and in the euro. So for some early adopters of this process, process started a long time before 2022. But for the most businesses and banks, it started in 2022.
And what steps actually you have your presentation that you presented to us if you want to use it, and
I didn't.
What were the actual steps? And I guess it took longer for bigger banks to incorporate the changes.
In my opinion, it doesn't depend on the size of the bank. I don't know for the details about the Bulgarian bank, but for banks in Croatia, it was specific that they had, in most cases, more than one core system. For different business areas, for example, for early retail, corporate loans, things like that, they have several different core systems. If they had different kind of core system, if they had old kind of core system, if they had really didn't have any more support for some of these core systems, they stay for, I don't know, really different reasons, they needed to make more changes, more adaptations, more decisions. It was really different process for different banks. You can think about the process in three ways. You can change everything, convert everything on core system. You can start with core system after a euro adoption date, like from the beginning, and not to convert anything. And you can do both. You can change the currency in data warehouse or in the core system in the same time, or only in the data warehouse. So it depended on the bank if the process went smoothly or not. And also the biggest part in this process was the awareness in the company that this is a big project, that this project needed a good methodology and good testing process. Testing was really the most important thing. And in some banks, really it depended on awareness of the people that made decision and people that were involved in the process to make the people enough time to deal with euro conversion process and also to organize the testing process really, really good.
And were government authorities supportive for all this process? What was their involvement?
Yeah, they were involved. They make the laws. I think that our national bank made a good job really, really good job in one field, and that was really arranging this testing process. They cooperate with the banks really closely. Even before the law, they had really discussions with banks. They tried to involve them in the process also. And in the testing process in the banks, they tried to be involved to the level that they wanted reports about how many testing environments do you have, which testing processes do you have, how good this process going or not going. For some banks, they asked for additional reports about testing process. So they were really, really involved in this process before of Euro adoption years. And I think that this cooperation of our national banks and banks really was one of the key things that this process for the banks in Croatia went, I think, mostly smoothly.
And what was the most difficult part, in your opinion, out of everything that you listed?
After everything, what was the most difficult? I think this decision, Euro project in 2022 needs to be only or the most important project. That was really the biggest decision for our banks, because you know it, in the banks it's always something that is happening in parallel, it's always new products, it's always something that you need to implement. But for Euro projects it was very specific because it went to all the fields in most of the current core systems, in most of the data warehouse, everywhere. And when you try to run something with this kind of projects, it didn't go well. So for the most banks, I think the hardest thing is put everything else on the side. It was one funny story. When I went in this first bank that I worked for a year and a half almost, when we have a first contact with them, they said to us, oh, we don't need additional people, everything is okay, we'll do it ourselves. But then a few months later, they contact us and ask, please, do you have some people? We will not manage to do it ourselves. We need additional power. We need additional people. We need to do the things the right way. So
it seems that people underestimated, no matter that they were prepared, they knew that you will enter the euro area. So what were other unexpected costs to businesses and banks?
Yeah, it was some unexpected costs. I think that one thing I forgot to mention, that I really think that it wasn't so nice about our political structures and everything is also in additional cost is raising awareness among the people. People were very afraid. They were very afraid about price decrease. They were very afraid about inflation. They were very afraid about new currency. And I think in this field of marketing, of raising of awareness, I think that our government and also they need to put more effort, because it's okay for the highly educated people, but mostly people were very, very afraid of the changes, and that was it. reporting.
And how did the project, so you entered in on the 1st of January 2023,
Yeah.
but it was a planned process.
Mm-hmm.
How did it continue?
It's still ongoing. I'm just kidding. It's not still, but yeah, year after, it was still ongoing because most of the banks and businesses concentrate on the things that are visible to the clients. You couldn't mess up with the amounts on the accounts. You couldn't mess up with the prices. But you could put something that was not so important in the back end. For example, our part, data warehouse part, was not done in all of it. In most banks, firstly, because you can wait with reports, but you cannot wait with something that is visible with the client. And this regular reporting part was very specific because our national bank didn't raise all the checks 1st of January. Its focus was on everything visible to the client. And when they raised the checks, I don't know, in March, and when they additionally decided about some small things, then problems started because reports really didn't went through the checks.
You mentioned inflation, fears of inflation.
Yeah.
So what is your opinion about the public perception about the entrance? So how smooth the process was, or did inflation materialize? What was the public perception?
Yeah, public perception was that that prices will increase because of euro, and we know that this wasn't really only the case. We had the opportunity to go on euro really in difficult times. All the supply chain were messed up because of the corona. The energy prices were really, really high, and inflation itself was something that happened in Croatia, and the percentage was really high in 2022 and 2023. And it's not only the euro adoption what bring the prices higher. Yes, some prices went out because of the euro. It was really the rounding. We have our exchange rate was 7.5345. It was really strange for the people to try to recalculate something because it's not something you can do in your mind. So basically, yeah, inflation was up. Euro came, prices went a little bit up more, but right now, inflation in Croatia is 3%. It's just about percentage that is in the European Union, what is 1.8%. I think that euro adoption brings us so much good things. Our economy stability, our opening to the market of European Union, our interest rates are lower now than ever. So basically, yeah, it was hard times, but now I think that people are very happy with euro.
And what is your advice for Bulgarian authorities, the Bulgarian National Bank, also businesses? Here we have representatives of financial companies, banks. What is your advice?
My advice for National Bank, that was one thing that I already highlighted up is please cooperate, please talk. Please, Koyos was here in really good position because we worked with the biggest 8 banks in Croatia. So we talked with National Bank, we talked with banks, we talked among ourselves. So nobody knows everything. We all know somebody who worked with regulatory reports, yes, you got the documentation, but this documentation is never straightforward. It's always a lot of questions in it. So basically try to cooperate on the laws, on every procedures, on everything, consult about between yourself, because this is for me the key thing. to do it properly. And one thing that you have, we didn't have it, you have experience that is really fresh. Our last neighbor went to Euro 16 years ago. It was Slovenia. There were some countries in the meantime, but Slovenia went 16 years ago. We didn't have anybody to talk about this about this process. You have our experience. All the questions that you will have about reports, about how to do it, what is the best practice, how to do it for the existing reports, for the new reports, we already went through these questions and probably know the answer. I know that you have some differences. Maybe it's a little bit easy for you because for us it was also a huge impact on accounting part, because for us euro was a currency like every other foreign currency. So it was also a really large impact on accounting part. But you have us, you can ask us.
And what is next for Croatia in the euro area? And because it was mentioned in a previous session, what is your opinion about the digital euro?
Yeah, what is next for the... I think that really basically the things that we need to work on is, for example, AML. We are on AMLA grey list, like Bulgaria. This is the part that we need to work on right now. It's also, I forgot to mention it, in euro conversion year, there was amount that you can change without proving origin of the money. It was really 100,000 kuna. It's around 13,500 euros. For amounts bigger than that, you need to prove origin of the money. So for people in Croatia, that was a big issue because a lot of people had cash at home. But this is one way in which our government tried to manage this part, and even now this amount is decreased. It's decreased to 10,000 euros. About the things that we need to also do, we need to economically grow. We need to open to European Union. We need to cooperate more with countries around us. We need to raise awareness that yes, taxes are boring, yes, everything, when everything is regulated, yeah, it's a problem, but it's the best way. You all want to live in that kind of country. So it's basically awareness that the only way is proper way. About the digital euro, thank you, Dejan, on your documents about it. It was really, really, I'm so honored that I read them. It's, for me, it's not a decision, it's digital euro or any other currency. It's, European Union need digital currency. If this will be token-based, account-based, or some hybrid or mix of it, it's not important. Important is for the growth of the European Union, something like this is really, really needed. Yeah, it's a lot of question. It's a new kind of cash. It's some bound between privacy and opening. It's for retail, wholesale. It's a lot of question. It's a lot of open things. But I think that this discussion can really, really bring up to this reunion of whole Europe and powering the whole Europe, basically. So for me, it's not a decision, yeah, when, or decision how it's needed to be done.
So thank you for the kind citation. If the public wants to learn more about the digital euro, you might consider joining us at my fintech lectures at Sofia University, at our faculty, a few kilometers away. So thank you very much for this very extensive information and pieces of advice for our our own path to the euro. So let me open the floor for questions. I don't know how much time we have. I guess we have time for some questions. We answered all possible questions.
We answered all of them.
Okay, so thank you very much, and I would like to congratulate you for your braveness, because this was a discussion panel, so it had to be just as any other discussion panel here with more people, and you agreed to. And I know for a fact that representatives of the Bulgarian national authorities and the National Bank were invited to discuss our progress towards the euro. And, well, everyone knows the political situation, and they refused to comment on the issue. So thank you very much. I think it was useful for everyone, and we hope to see you again.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure.